agency. Is going to present some research and some work that she's been doing using steelpan with people with disabilities, space dimension studies, and things of that nature. So without further ado, Shareen Gray.
Hello. Okay. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, my name is Shareen Gray. I'm doing a lecture today on inspiring the excitement of steelpan music to those with special need, disabilities, and learning difficulties. So in this presentation, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself, about Steelpan Agency, the business I run, the charity Steelpan Trust, the teaching techniques that I've developed with those user groups I mentioned, and suitable workshop layouts for those groups, and the impact of Steelpan lessons with those group of people. So I'm going to open up by showing you a video, but it's from quite a long time ago now, but it does give a good example of us working with these types of user groups. Traditional music.
Events are brilliant, they're great for meeting people. Michael, my son, knows everybody, or most of the children that come. He's happy. So today is his birthday, and I asked him to want to do an event with Contact Family, and this was the steelpan workshop. And he loves music, he loves being a bit of an entertainer, and I think it takes the edge off him being overwhelmed, which he is when it's his birthday. If it was a normal party, he would just be too scared and overwhelmed, but he's really participated, he's enjoyed it.
Workshop. Good. Yeah, it was really good.
Well, it allows our children to have friends. You know, my son goes to a special needs autistic specific school, but because all the children are autistic, they don't necessarily all mix. And my son's very sociable, and the people that come here are a full range of disabilities, so who are sociable, just want to interact. And Michael finds he's quite comfortable with that, and he has been, around different things since he was first diagnosed. So we're really happy, and really grateful to Contact Family for arranging workshops like this.
What do you think about using the drums?
It was good. Was it good, Sophie? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so that video just gave a small insight into the type of works that we do with those user groups. So just a little bit about myself. I grew up in the Ebony Steel Band. My first type of work in terms of the kind of work I'm doing now was at the Ebony Steel Band. I used to be a Millennium Volunteers manager, which was getting young people through certificates they used to learn to play steel pan, accumulate hours, and they would achieve certificates from doing that. I also took some of them through the Duke of Edinburgh Awards. I then, from fundraising at Ebony, I then led on to fundraise for other steel bands and other groups like Age Concern, a few other well-known charities, so I did that for about 7 years. Steelpan Agency was formed in 2010, which provides workshops and performances for schools, corporate events and private companies. Steelpan Trust is a charity that was formed in 2013. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. I managed Endurance for 1 year in 2014 to 15. I received my British Association of Steel Bands Award in 2015, and I was the Panorama manager at this year's event. So a little bit more about Steelpan Agency. We formed in 2010. We used to mostly visit schools. That's changed in the past 3 years. We supply school tutors to schools that have steel bands on a permanent basis. We're in about 12 schools at the moment. We do corporate and private functions, do a lot of work with people with disabilities, special needs, and also mental health. I've just started a new project called Caribbean. It's a Switzerland Caribbean party. It's a connection that I made with Paul Francis at the Panyard in Switzerland, and I'm going to be offering, I already do a lot of hen parties and birthday parties. We're going to bring that to Switzerland. So if anybody does want to go to a party in Switzerland for a hen or anything, just look up Steelpan Agency, it'd be great. Steelpan Trust actually formed as a result of Pan Clash, which was a Steelpan soloist competition. It was in its 10th year last year, and this year we've joined with the BAS, and it's going to be Pan Clash Explosion, which is a soloist competition and the ensembles competition coming together. That's Saturday, the 17th of November. The Mobile Awards have sponsored it for about 4 years as well. They sponsored the prize. Classarama, the school steel band competition since 2014. I believe it's in its 5th year now. We do a fundraising busking tour. It accumulates about £2,000 for Steelpan Trust each year. We just go all over the country performing on the streets. We have a Steelpan Trust media project. That's where we promote steel bands and individual Steelpan artists across our social media. Steelpan Theatre production is currently stagnated at the moment, but we did showcase 3 scenes at a Pan Clash event a few years ago, and I am hoping to get that up and running again. We do Steelpan classes every Monday. It's a family Steelpan class, but we also have a lot of people with disability and special needs that also attend those classes. Volunteers. Our volunteers are mainly from the different Steelpan community groups. They help us out at Classarama and Pan Clash. So moving into the topic of today. So I'm just going to read out what I've written here about teaching techniques for people with special needs, learning difficulties and disabilities. The most common technique to get a group of various abilities to play together is to roll harmonies and repeating rhythms. Sensory touch is also a major part of this for those who cannot physically hold the sticks. Key workers also play a key role in supporting pupils through these sessions. Rarely is a song completed, but much can be done with roles and harmonies and rhythms to create a lovely sound at the foundation stage. Additionally, we use various lengths of sticks to support those with physical hand impairments and the best way to place wheelchairs when teaching the steel pan. So that is just literally all about how we teach people. When you go to a school where there are various disabilities, learning difficulties, there's such a massive range that you never know, they can't tell you specifically. So you have to kind of do techniques that work for all. And very easily by using those techniques we got familiar. But just to give a bit of background myself, my mum has always worked with people from these types of user groups. So I've always worked in an environment with people with various learning difficulties or special needs. So I'm already very familiar. So when I brought it to my work, I did already have some experience with that. So that's about teaching techniques. Suitable workshop layouts. I've put flexibility during these sessions is fundamental and orchestrated by the ability and compatibility of those you are working with. The most popular layout is 15-minute turnaround sessions of playing and performing. The performance allows dancing and movement, and the steel pan playing sessions are short to help keep pupils engaged for long periods of time, such as up to 90 minutes. So again, when I turn up at schools, I've probably visited more than 20 schools now, geared at people with learning difficulties and special needs and disabilities. And when we go there, the most common layout that I've found is quick turnarounds. So you would introduce yourself, tell them very briefly about the instrument, and then you would put them on the steel pan for no more than 15 minutes, and then rotate it between playing them some music that gets dancing. It allows those who are more into the touch and the sound to feel the vibrations, and you continually rotate it throughout the workshop. That has probably been my most popular layout. Finally, the impact of steel pans on these service users. I've put, working with this group can be rewarding in ways extremely unforeseen. We have had more than 10 case studies where we are informed that a pupil will not engage with anything but shows an enthusiasm towards a steel pan. So unlike themselves, key workers are often moved to tears of emotion. The joy of our workshop has brought to thousands of service users over the years has been phenomenal. The outcomes achieved over the years should be recorded, as steel pans can play a significant role in the development and well-being of these service users. So nearly almost, and I mean literally always, when we visit schools like this, there's always some kind of reaction that causes some great emotion because they see something that happens, or a child or an adult has engaged in a way that they haven't done so before. So I, for about 3 years, have kind of been fixated on there being an actual study, an official report that can show the effects that steel pan has on various user groups. I've only ever applied for one funding. It was turned down, but it is something I'm very much interested in. If there is anybody who hears this today, hears it recorded, who can think of funders or people that would be interested in, because I don't even think it would cost that much. It would just be a case of coming to a few of these schools, recording what's happening, and putting it into a report. I mean, I'm not a professional at how these things are put together, but I would really like to see some real documented evidence that steel pans are good for these types of service users. I've just got here some more information about the work that I do and how you can make contact. I'll put it back on that screen in a moment, but I was going to do question and answers if there's time, Haroon, I don't know. Does anybody have any questions? Yeah?